Sometimes people ask me, how is it that you're so intentional with relationships and disciplined and care about things that are important? And if you're watching this, either I've actually died yesterday, or I've decided to upload this even though I'm still here. A part of my story is I read a book when I was probably 18 or 19, and it simply asked the question, if you were to die in 3 years, what would you want people to remember you as? Like, what is the type of person that your friends, your family, your coworkers, your family, who would you want to be remembered by, or how would you want to be remembered by them? And I actually took the time to write that out, and it has served as both a anchor to assist me when things are going not so great, and also give me something to continue to strive towards when things are awesome. And I think I may just read it out loud. That might be the best thing. But kind of how this came about originally was I read that book, and then in Mexico in 2018, that would have been during my second year of Thrive, I just had this really strong sense that March 29th of 2021, which was 3 years from that day, that was going to be the end of my life. Now, we'll see on March 30th when this posts if that actually happens. But I kind of wanted to make this in case it does, because people like you really matter and mattered to me, and I wouldn't be here without so many, or I wouldn't have been able to do all the things that I did do if it weren't for so many people that supported me, from my parents, my grandma, my siblings, so many people at Bayside, so many people at Vintage Grace, both Mike Woodward and Mike Interlikia, who were leaders of mine in middle school and in high school growing up. And yeah, so those are some of the people, and Keith Kochner and Jerry Rosenthal, so many people, Jen Townsley, some truly incredible people who believed in me. My parents, I guess obviously almost, but you should say that, Mom and Dad. Yeah. Oh, Brett Swartz. Absolutely. So these are some of the things that I wrote as the things that matter most to me. So this is how I wanted to be remembered by God. Simply, Daniel was a man after my own heart. He chose to trust me in the things that I knew were hardest for him to let go of. He lived out Galatians 2:20 and Philippians 4:4-8. He was diligent in seeking me, in his actions, his words, thoughts. The way he talked with himself brought me glory, and he honored me to the best of his ability. He walked with me, and then he was no more. He prioritized our time together. This is my sister, Christy. Daniel cared about those around him with great intentionality. He truly was there for me, always encouraging me to be my best. He lived in such a way that I could say that I couldn't help but want to be closer to God like he was. I could see that he had developed such an intimate relationship with God that it truly defined his every thought, word, and deed, and how he saw himself. He was someone who I could say follow Daniel as he followed Christ. Not only that, but he was an incredible son and grandson. He would call mom and dad weekly. He planned trips to hang out with them, almost like he knew he wasn't going to live past this point. He had such a strong purpose behind choosing how he spent his time. He chose to build into me and my family's relationships. He continued to believe in me when no one else did. That is my favorite thing about him. He continued and was an overcomer no matter the obstacles. This is my coworkers, specifically Michael Dacey. His work ethic is unmatched. I've met few people who learn and work as effectively and consistently as this man. Yet even with this, he still cares about those around him so well while getting the job done. I've known him for a few years now, and he's constantly wanting to improve, asking for feedback and getting better. He is fully at peace, yet is always looking for improvement. He would ask, what can I do more, better, and different? And that has made him so valuable to me. My friends, I never met someone who loved learning and applied what he learned like Daniel did. It changed my outlook because he asked such good questions and listened with intensity. I've never felt heard the way I did when I was around Daniel. It is as though his entire being was wrapped up in his eyes and the way he would slowly rotate his thumbs as he listened. He was very thoughtful and was so intentional with wanting to build into me. He wanted to know how he could build my dreams, belief, and skills. He wanted to know my vision so that he could encourage me along the way. I haven't met many people who believe in my dreams more than I did, but that was the person Daniel was. He always looked for the good in people, and you knew he was around if someone got complimented. He looked for character development and would compliment who the person was more than what they did or what they looked like. He had a way of making everyone he met feel incredibly special. He was so genuine in the way he cared for others. So I don't know if at this point in my life, if I have achieved that yet. Whether I'm still here or I'm not, I'm so grateful for so many incredible relationships and opportunities to grow that I've had along the way. And I think in understanding that life is short, it has allowed me to choose to be faithful in what's in front of me at a higher level than if I thought I had all the time in the world. And so, I don't know if you feel like you have all the time in the world or if you have no time left. But regardless, I would encourage you to consider what would you want to be left behind? How are the people around you being affected by you, even just on a small day-to-day basis? If you watched to this point, I'm very grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for this life that I've led up until this point. And that's it. That's the end.